Hello and welcome to Knife Delights. It's time for another Way Back Wednesday. Hey, this is an open tag started by that curator of cutlery, Warthog, the man, the legend. Thank you, Warthog, so much for starting this great open tag. And of course, I'm having my morning coffee. And boy, that coffee has never tasted so good as when I'm drinking it out of this wonderful Buck coffee mug you sent me. Thanks again, Warthog. Hey, we're going to get into this review here just a little bit. KABAR is an old company. I have reviewed this knife again, but I just thought it was, well, a good time to go over it again and maybe a little bit of the company history. So stand by here. We're going to be talking about KABAR. Well, what we have on the table here today is the KABAR Hunter Model 1232. And I've done a full review of this knife, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun to break it out again and talk about it some more. KABAR has a wonderful history, and I'm just going to kind of touch on it here a little bit today and kind of give you the cliff notes. KABAR was originally known as a Tituate cutlery company, and they began to sell cutlery in and around Pennsylvania. And in around 1909, the company was renamed Union Cutlery. So the KABAR name comes from, and this is, I believe, off of their website is where I got this info. They got a letter from a trapper, and he was being attacked, or he was trapping a bear. His rifle jammed, and he was only left with his knife. And even though the letter's writing was a bit smudged, they thought it said somewhere in there, "kill a bear," or something close to that. And so KABAR, and the rest they say is history. The name KABAR stuck. So KABAR is kind of well known for their World War II fighting knives, and I just happen to have one here. I have not done a full review on this one yet, I don't think, and I need to do a full review on this one. But this is the USN Mark I fighting knife, or actually, now, for the Navy, I think it was called a deck knife is what they referred to it as. But, and of course, it's got the rounded pommel. And again, I'll mention that dates back to the Marble's ideal knife design. The first knife to come out was stacked leather. And so, KABAR borrowed heavily from that original Marble's knife. I should point out, this knife, it gets the spirit in the reproduction of the knife, but the authenticity of the reproduction is, well, a little left to be desired. It's not a close reproduction, but again, it gathers the spirit of that knife. And of course, it comes in this beautiful sheath with USN on it. And of course, that's part of my naval heritage, and so I wanted to pick one up. So again, I'll do a full review on the Mark I here at a later time. I've been meaning to do it and just haven't got it done yet. So anyway, in 1966, Robinson Knife Company sold the KABAR operations to Cole National in Cleveland, Ohio. And that's kind of where this gets to be a Way Back Wednesday knife, is because this one is stamped Cleveland. And on the back side, though, it shows it's stainless, and it was actually manufactured in Japan. Now, they kind of think that maybe it was TAK Fukudo that made the knives for KABAR in Seki, Japan. So in '82, Cole National went into bankruptcy, and the KABAR product line was purchased by American Consumer Products and moved to Solon, Ohio. And then in '96, the company was sold again, this time to Alcus Corporations of Olean, New York. And you can see on this one here, it has Olean, New York there. So in 2003, KABAR moved to Olean, New York, and KABAR is currently owned by Cutco, and they share manufacturing space there in Olean. So, just so you know, with a lot of history, sometimes the history is conflicting. So, if you've heard a different story about, the origins of the company and the name of the company, why, please feel free to share them in the comments below, You know, sometimes it's hard to separate fact from legend. Let me see. The model 1232 here was first produced in the mid 1960s. And of course, again, it's stamped KABAR, Cleveland, Ohio, 1232. And on the reverse side, stainless Japan. So the blade length on this is 4 inches. And the overall length is 8.125 inches. Has these great stacked leather handles, which KABAR is known for, and as you can see, they're grooved. And we've got some black, yellow, red micarta spacers in there. This little half guard here is a little loose. I need to get something to wrap around there just to take the play out of that before the stacked leather starts getting too loose on it. Try to tighten it up just a little bit. You can see on the pommel there's no nut there to tighten down, so I'd probably have to drill a pin out and all kinds of stuff in order to tighten that all up. And I don't want to get into all of that. So I think the current production on this knife is either in Taiwan or China. The current blade steel that I've found that they use is DIN 1.4116 stainless steel. I do not know what the steel is in this particular knife. I do believe this knife is still in production, however, and you can find it on various knife outlets, and the price is going to be around $50 or $60. So based on the fact that it seems like Cole National maintained the KABAR product line, and it was run out of the Cleveland plant from around 66 to 82. You know, this knife was probably sometime from the late 60s to very early 80s, based on the Cleveland tang stamp on it. Now, just for everyone's edification here, Warthog did loosen up kind of the rules on the Way Back Wednesday knife reviews or videos. He said anything that's 20th century or prior, or 1999 and prior, fits into the category of a Way Back Wednesday knife. So as he's kind of put it, you don't have to worry about having one from the 1920s or anything to participate in this open tag. But it's a great chance to check out a lot of these great knives that were made throughout the 20th century and before. Let's just take a quick look on the blade on this. It has a very, very minor clip on it. I don't think it's a trailing point, although it's almost close. It does kind of curve up here, so I'm not quite sure if they consider that a trailing point or if that's a clip blade. Of course, this has been well used. I did get it sharpened up some. Probably not as sharp as it needs to be. Again, there's a look at that brass guard, half guard. And a look at those finger grooves in there in the leather. Aluminum pommel. And with the finger grooves, you know, they do fit in there very nice. Gives you a very nice purchase. Now I wear, you know, large to extra large gloves, but I can get a full 4 fingers on there. No problem whatsoever. Plenty left over. So it is a fine little hunting knife. KABAR always came out with some very good products. And so if you're interested in a small hunting knife, stacked leather-wise, you might want to consider this KABAR 1232. Well, until next time, everybody, have a very delightful day.